Okay, item 2, additions or deletions to the agenda. We have one.
Phone call.
Phone.
Pretty good timing, right?
I told you I wanted a phone that didn't ring. We have item B on action item, that's action number 7. That is a discussion and action to award the contract to Savali Landscaping for maintenance, landscape maintenance services, and staff has asked that be removed for further review and, until the next board meeting. So,
B.
item B. So can I get a motion to remove that from the agenda?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Director Glenn, seconded by Director Spoor.
Could you put the microphone up?
Or does it work?
Can you lift it up one?
I'm sorry.
There you go.
It stays that way. Okay.
All right.
Okay, there we go. Mr. Chairman, members, my name is Prayful Amin. I'm in Palmdale, and I'm here today to address and expose some of the practices that your agent, Attorney Fogelman, has adopted in collecting outstanding and delinquent assessment bonds in District 19913. A brief history as to the situation that I'm in right now. I acquired some land in Rosamond some years ago and ended up selling it free and clear of liens. Very recently I had to reacquire the land through repossession and foreclosure. Unfortunately, it came back with attached liens. I'm trying to clear up all the liens that are attached to it, including Kern County property taxes in the amount in excess of $250,000. I understand there are bonds amounting to about $113,000. And on top of that, pending litigation from engineers and people who did work for the previous owner in the amount of like $200,000. And a lot of engineering work was done through the, submitted to the Kern County Planning Department of Bakersfield, took site of all of their sites. They were unable to do so, and I had to reacquire the land. Anyway, coming back to the point of collection from your agent, Attorney Fogelman. Your attorney contacted me in December of 2012 with a notice that pending foreclosure would be instituted if this wasn't paid in full.
Potential moving of the temporary skate park to another location. With the school taking over United Street Park, if the shuttle memorial playground equipment is not something that they want, you know, where might we be moving that? So the committee has asked staff to review that, look at that, see where there are some different locations, potential locations, and if and when we should have to move any of them, maybe some ask for donations to help cover the cost of the move. So we had a good discussion about that, and we'll just wait for you know, a little bit more information back from the staff, other potential locations. The temporary could be sold. I don't know what we could get for it, but I'd like to see it, you know, relocated. I think that would be nice. So there were some options of moving it onto RCSD property, to Williford Park. I haven't had a chance to, you know, really walk around in the parks yet, but that is in our view to be prepared ahead of time should that day come, and just so that we're ahead of the curve on having to move something, so we know where to go with it.
Does it look like that the school is going to let that stay there until they decide to actually build a school on that property, or?
Well, I'm not real sure. Things change, you know, it could be there for a long time. Maybe the space shuttle may remain plants like on United Street, and they want to go on the corner. So we just want to be prepared ahead of time. Some options, other options are.
Any questions or comments? Okay, item B, Water Conservation Committee. The advantages and getting the advantages of the paperless statement out to our customers to show them that not only is it a money savings to the district, but it's also a convenience to the customer. They can have their bill in real time. Instead of waiting for the mail to deliver it, or possibly getting lost in the mail, or whatever, things happen. I don't want to badmouth the post office, but, we send our bills out the same time every month. People get them different times every month. So, when they get delivered, where on a paperless, we have complete control. If you've got an email account, you're going to get it. And that's what we're looking at for the convenience of the customer, that they can open it up. And if they don't feel comfortable paying online, a paperless statement isn't paying online. It's just basically getting their statement in an email rather than an envelope. And they can still pay their bill the same way they've always paid it. They can come into the office and pay it. They can write a check and mail it in, or they can pay it electronically, by a debit card, whatever they want, how they want to do it. It's just if we can just convince most of our customers to just accept an e-statement versus a paper statement, it'll make things a lot more efficient for the agency. But we've got a lot of talking to do to come up with a game plan.
Lock costs, we did the monthly meter reading. In the last 2 weeks, we've installed 172 of the new master meters. Repaired 5 service lines and replaced 4 of them. So a total of 9 in the last 2 weeks. Today we dewatered the 54-inch water line at the water bank. We're going to be installing a 54-inch mag meter. And so we started that project. We're working along with the contractor, Perez Welding, who will be doing the welding and stuff on the pipeline. We've been asked by the owners of the water bank to do some supervising of a couple of 4 new wells that they want installed, and the rehabilitation of 2 existing ag wells out there. So we'll be keeping an eye on those efforts, and they've also asked us to do some sampling for them on their new wells, where we're going to take a small submersible sub pump out there, drop them down, pump the water for 45 minutes or so, and then take some samples of arsenic, TDS, pH, and some samples like that.
For the retrofit of interior fluorescence to LED. And Steve, I think you had some updates on that?
Yeah, I did. I apologize not providing you with the 3 bids in the last packet. I was gone and it just slipped my mind to give them all. But we have the 3 bids here. One change though, and I noticed in going back over it, that we had left off the 70, I believe it's like 73 lights at the wastewater treatment plant, although they called them out. The numbers didn't add up, and I made sure that everybody updated their proposals to include those lights also. And so with MKB Energy Solutions at $48,358.28. GEP Green Energy Products proposal at $56,892.09. And then Century Lighting and Electric for $60,447.85. And my suggestion with MKB Energy Solutions is obvious. They came in a lot cheaper. But one of the things I'd like to note, even with the slightly higher cost, the savings is tremendously larger overall. And the payback time came in below the 5.25, I believe it was 5.25 on the last one, and it's 4.83 years on payback this time. So it reduced the time that it's gonna take us to pay it off based on the increased savings that we're gonna be receiving.
And that's based upon today's electric rates.
Correct. So if electric rates go up significantly, the assumption on that is it will escalate the payoff time because the savings will get greater.
And plus, what is the longevity on these, Steve? Can you let everybody know versus your typical fluorescent bulb versus the LED?
Well, the best way I can put it is the LED lights that are being proposed here are about a 50,000 hour light. And with 50,000 hours, depending on the burn time, etc., how you divide that 50,000 up on daytime. You can look at anywhere from a 17 to 25 year period of time that these lights will go without having to change the fixture. With a standard, say, street light, if you will, because I know that one real well, just to make a comparison. You will go up a pole about 3 times to change a lamp or a ballast in the life that one of those lights lasts. And with these, you'll put them in, and you might have 1 or 2 that may burn out and be of bad quality, but for the most part, you're not going to have that replacement maintenance issue, having to go up and replace bulbs and the like. They're a little bit, they're more expensive on the near side, but for the long run, they're way more cost effective. Energy and cost of the light itself.
I've seen 1,000 lights on a line, that's a company that sells them. They warranty them for so many hours, I forget what they was, but they guarantee them so many hours. Is the district on time of use there, electric?
We've got several different, we're on time of use A or time of use B in some areas. For instance, the increase in electric rates in our district, actually in California under the Edison cycle, is 13.9%.
Well, all businesses are going to time use the 1st of January. It's
They're
mandatory.
being forced to.
Right, it's mandatory.
And
It's going to kill small businesses.
right.
It's
And
gonna
with ours, well 9 is 18%. This office, I think, was 26%. Now, I've made this quote before, but I went back and I found the letter, and the ponds out at the wastewater treatment plant are 27 or 28%.
Yeah, well, these lights is going to really help that situation. And then Ryan told me, or Ryan's son-in-law, Wild Drilling, he told me the farmers' pumps are going to go up $5,000 a month. And he said they're raising the bill to pay $4 a bale to cover that. So in the summertime, they're going to be $5,000 more a month.
When we started considering solar and the paybacks and the efficiencies of LED and everything, we've calculated everything on a conservative 4%.
And now they're wanting these people who's got solar, I've seen this, the utility company's trying to get it passed where they have to pay more. They're not happy with them getting some cheap electricity. They want to put a monthly fee on them.
Well, one thing that did happen, and I think it's a caution for a lot of people, in the deregulation of electricity in this state, when they divested the major electric companies in the name of competition, we're seeing what the name of competition has done. It has basically drove up the cost of electricity in this state, because those that had invested, even though they were private companies with stockholders like Edison and PG&E and the like, they had invested just ungodly amounts of money in infrastructure. I mean, we had a couple nuclear plants, we have Edison with tremendous amount of hydro plants. Well, when they saw this change coming, they stopped building the infrastructure because they knew that their investments were gonna be stranded, which meant they could not make back their investment in time when this divestiture was going to take place. At that time, I was an advisor to then the president of Southern Cal Edison, and I knew what was going on, and I knew what the discussions based on the legislative move was. Edison didn't have a choice, and they had to figure out how to survive. And I have a feeling now what we're seeing is a lot of that's coming back to bite us, because the only one out there with any infrastructure is Edison and the big ones. And now it's so old, it's over 50 years old, and they're gonna have to update it, and we're gonna have to pay for it. And this is a way for them to get their stranded assets back, as well as new infrastructure. And you know, when you look at when it's your money that you're spending and you want to earn it back, you can't blame them too much, but it's still gonna hurt in our pocketbooks. Contract has been signed, and what they're doing is they're saying that they're trying to get started in the month of October.
So they'll start building the different setups, and that'll be good.
That'll cut your demand way down too, right?
Yep. And with solar, basically, if it's any advice to anybody, if you put solar on, just get enough solar to keep you out of the peak areas.
Yeah, I seen on television tonight, they said they're offering it, no payment down to Southern California Edison customers if your bill is $150 a month. Nothing down. Mine don't quite go that much, so. Neither do yours.
Can I get a motion on item A?
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion is made by Director Glenn, second by Director Wallace. Any further discussion on item A? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we move on to item 7, consent calendar. Motion is made by Director Spoor, second by Director Wallace. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at
I gotta know